And he told me, I don't even know if I should say this.
I think you should absolutely.
He told me that the FBI is not cooperating with him, and he is trying to corroborate potential foreign influence and was getting blocked out of every opportunity to confirm or deny that. And it was written off as no foreign influence less than 48 hours in.
33 hours it took for them to identify and find Tyler Robinson. 33 hours, but they shut down all foreign involvement investigations in the Charlie Kirk assassination within 48 hours of the shooting taking place. Makes no sense. The video I'm about to show you has 80,000 views on YouTube. I think it should have far more given the subject matter and the shocking level of insider conversations with the CIA, with former Green Beret and the CIA that were exposed in this YouTube video. But this is a conversation between Mike Ritland, who is a former U.S. Navy SEAL who has a podcast, as well as Mike Glover, who is a former U.S. Green Beret with friends who are, and I quote, extremely senior in the CIA. We're going to go through a few points of this conversation, but it confirms everything that the New York Times said about certain parties, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard and her subordinate Joe Kent, looking into foreign ties for this Charlie Kirk investigation and being shut down in the process by the FBI, except this conversation illuminates even more that we were not aware of. So take a listen to this. It's quite incredible.
The day after, I talked to a high-level CIA official, very high. And he told me, I don't even know if I should say this.
I think you should absolutely say it.
The day after, I talked to a high-level CIA official, very high. And he told me, I don't even know if I should say this.
I think you should absolutely say it.
He told me that the FBI is not cooperating with him, and he is trying to corroborate potential foreign influence and was getting blocked out of every opportunity to confirm or deny that. And it was written off as no foreign influence less than 48 hours in. And this guy...
CIA gets blocked from researching, investigating any foreign interference, foreign involvement in the Charlie Kirk assassination, and all investigations into this matter across all departments are shut down after 48 hours. Does that make any sense to you whatsoever? Is there even the capacity for all of the U.S. intelligence agencies to properly investigate that question, whether or not there was foreign involvement in this assassination within 48 hours? The answer is no, of course not. Of course not. But for some reason, they shut it down.
Guy has access to the President of the United States.
He said the guy that shut it down, the guy that told him this at the CIA has access to the President of the United States. So clearly very senior. I have my thoughts about who this is, but let's keep listening.
And so for that to be said from the guy and asking me if I had anybody that I knew on the inside to be able to get information because he wasn't allowed to access it, I'm like, why are you calling me? Tells me everything that I need to know.
Well, so to me, here's where I don't understand that is that you have, Trump's hand-picked guy running the FBI, right? And so if this guy has access to Trump also, isn't that at odds? Like, why would the FBI being, headed by Trump's hand-picked guy not be cooperating with somebody who also has access to Trump? Like, where is the conflict?
That's the first question I asked, and what I got was, God.
Ought to be fine, says the guy. Says the guy on the other side of the fucking interview.
What I was told was the guy's already bought.
When he asked the CIA guy that he's friends with, who's directly in contact with the President of the United States, why the FBI is shutting down foreign involvement investigations 48 hours into the investigation, the manhunt. How long did the manhunt go? Was the manhunt still ongoing at that point in time? I mean, how do you shut down foreign investigations, but maybe the manhunt was either ongoing or just ended? That's crazy. How long did it take for them to find Tyler Robinson, the suspect here? Because if I remember correctly, it was like 24, 48 hours, right? And they shut it down, and he said, well, why? Why'd they shut it down? And the CIA guy came back and said, well, because he's already bought off. 33 hours it took for them to identify and find Tyler Robinson. 33 hours, but they shut down all foreign involvement investigations in the Charlie Kirk assassination within 48 hours of the shooting taking place. Makes no sense.
And
Which guy's already bought?
the FBI.
By somebody outside of the president?
Don't know who that is, but basically he's already been so heavily influenced by outsiders that it's a very good question that you would have a handpicked cabinet member from the DOJ, the head of the FBI, and then a handpicked cabinet member for an intelligence organization not being able to interoperate together. Why would you block them out? Well, one, if you were trying to compete with them and you want to be the person that was positioning your organization to be above the rest. Like, why?
And keep in mind, that whole argument that I've heard several times that, oh, this was like power play politics within DNI, CIA, counterterrorism, and FBI, that literally only makes sense if the FBI proceeded to, in some way, carry out their own foreign involvement investigation or directed members of different agencies to assist them in that matter within their own investigation. Otherwise, that story is bullshit.
Why would we need the CIA? Because the FBI runs the show. This is a domestic terrorist threat. But have you confirmed or denied that there's any foreign influence? Yeah, we did that. How can you do that in 48 hours? You can't do that is the answer in 48 hours. So it's either external influence or a combination of that and protecting your organization because you are the show. And on game day, as it was advertised, again, in post press conferences, they did everything right. Or did they? I mean, I don't know the answer to that, but what I do know is when the CIA is getting blocked out of even investigating foreign influence days after it happened without a proper investigation or without even cooperation with a proper investigation, that is a massive problem.
Smells like JFK, smells like RFK, smells like, at least the MLK assassination insofar as investigating anyone other than James Earl Ray, anyone who wanted to look at the FBI, anyone who wanted to look at the mafia, anyone who wanted to look at the CIA or the U.S. Army. Yeah, you were told to fuck off at that point in time. Now, there was not only the investigation that was ongoing into foreign involvement in the assassination, but also this guy at the CIA had actually directed a group of personnel to go and try and investigate this on their own. They were flying under the radar, I presume, in Utah at Utah Valley University. And this is what happened when they arrived. Take a listen.
Provo, Orem, Utah, 30 minutes down the canyon from my house, and all of them were denied access. And that information in which they have access to, they sent them from DC to Provo, Orem, Utah, 30 minutes down the canyon from my house, and all of them were denied access and told to turn around and get back on the plane and fly away.
Now, again, the only logical argument that anyone's going to make to combat this weirdness, if that's an appropriate word for it, it's not. But the only argument that could be made is, well, it's power politics, one agency versus another agency. Okay, but that argument does not hold when the FBI has a very clear-cut picture as to how they want this to all turn out. There was one shooter. It was this kid, Tyler Robinson, yada, 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 and no foreign involvement. We're not going to look into that. Actually, 48 hours in, even though the manhunt wrapped in 33 hours, odd number to wrap in, by the way, 33 hours. In fact, I don't even think it actually was. If memory serves correct, I think it was actually not 33 hours. It was like 32 or 34, but Kash Patel, weirdly, for some reason, came out and said 33 hours. 33. With his big bug eyes, he had like whatever sort of MK Ultra, SSRI, eternal stare, as he said, 33 hours. And anyways, so you couldn't have come to this conclusion. So why are you turning away people that are trying to investigate foreign involvement 48 hours in, even on the ground?
So it wasn't just words and blockading or ignoring phone calls. It was a deliberate and intentional turnaround which is one of the main reasons when I talk about it on Survival Dispatch, I think it is a massive issue that is nearly like the Epstein issue, where there's so much convolution and corruption involved in all of the information that it ever released would cause all this controversy, which is why the full GFK picture has not been presented as promised. Yep. The full MLK picture, RFK picture has not been fully divulged as promised. Yep. It's because they're trying to protect us. That's their justification from the information, because it's a need to know, and we don't have a need to know.
Yes, you bottom dwellers, peasants, you do not have a need to know what actually took place and the most important political assassinations in our entire country's history, and maybe modern history of the world. You don't need to know. Here's the last bit I want to show you.
For Special Operations Command at senior positions, briefing generals and deputy directors of the agency and a lot of influential politicians, being a person who advocated for the military's position in Libya, in Benghazi, and talking to members of Congress in investigations of all this. A whistleblower myself, blacked out on Fox News post Benghazi, saying that the military could have responded with Adam Housley. 100% foreign influence is likely the framework of how these things happen. Whether it was the
former Green Beret speaking with a former U.S. Navy SEAL, both veterans. The Green Beret, the guy you're listening to, has discussed this case in extensive detail with his very close friend in a senior position at the CIA, who admitted to him in, private conversations that there was a public in-person blockade of his personnel from investigating the Charlie Kirk assassination, and that also there was an interagency blockade on investigating foreign involvement after 48 hours when the manhunt hadn't even finished up until 33 hours, okay? He's saying foreign involvement is how these things happen.
The Trump attempted assassination or our assassination in Utah that killed Charlie Kirk, it's likely the case that there was some foreign influence in some way. Was it an asset that was inside the chat groups that he was in, who recruited him, influenced him, and then pushed him to do it, who offered him material support? That's my theory. I think that's what happened. And
so Tommy Lauren, who has so much Botox in her face that, it's migrated into her brain, and like 73% of her brain is now just a plastic blob. She's got everything figured out. She's the genius here. She's the one who knows what she's talking about when she attacks Candace. Says everyone who's questioning the official narrative is a grifter, a liar, so on and so forth. But the ex-Green Beret, whose own friend at the CIA, high-level friend, was sidelined and stopped from looking into foreign involvement on numerous occasions by Kash Patel, who we know is a Zionist hack, and Dan Bongino is a Zionist hack. He's wrong? I don't think so. The guy who can clearly admit that there was foreign involvement in JFK, RFK, and Epstein, this ex-Green Beret, he said all that, and I think everyone knows what country that is. He can admit that. Tommy Lauren cannot admit that. Viva Frey, I don't know if he can admit that. I'd be surprised if he would admit that. Pierce Morgan definitely does not believe that. So I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say the people that lied to us about JFK and continue to lie about JFK, RFK, Epstein, I am not going to listen to what they have to say regarding Charlie Kirk for any other reason than to simply make fun of them and poke holes in their stupid arguments, because that's all their commentary is really good for. Before you leave, I want to say thank you for the support, because after 2 years of being banned, we are finally back home on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and also join as a member on our channel using the link at the top of the description. I rely on the generous support of viewers like yourself to get the truth out to as many people as possible. You can also support the show on Locals or Give Sin Go. The mainstream media and the powers that be are never going to stop attacking us for bringing the truth to as many people as we do. Thank you so much for your support.